probe is advancing towards this location, and the 4th base now finishing for WhiteRa. And WhiteRa tentatively trying to move across the field right now. Looks like a bunch of probes may get cut off over here. WhiteRa pretty quickly retreating those probes to make sure that this base tries to stay alive. And the engagement over here, all of the Hydras getting into battle, and the Corruptors trying to take down those Colossus. The Colossus ripping to shreds all of those Zerglings, as well as all of these the Hydralisks. And the only things remaining are those Corruptors. The 4th base is safe. The Zerglings trying to focus that down will not happen. WhiteRa going to be throwing up a couple cannons over here to make sure that does not happen in the future. And Rhett is actually in a kind of an awkward position where he needs to defend against this massive Thurnos ball of units, also worrying about Colossus numbers increasing. WhiteRa getting out his Speed Warp Prism right now, and Speed Warp Prisms are really fast. And WhiteRa moving himself into this position will have a chance to be able to blink a couple of Zerglings running by into WhiteRa's main. He's going to need to warp in a couple of additional Zealots here, and a single Colossus spawning. That's pretty lucky for that's pretty lucky for LiquidRet. Those Zerglings are going to be able to take down that Colossus very cost effectively. And another Colossus is on the way. The Blinkstalkers getting down onto the low ground will be able to focus fire that hatchery. The Queen trying to target down these Stalkers, but I think this hatchery will soon fall. The Zerglings trying to swing around the backside to take down all of these Stalkers. There's a single Zealot left on the high ground, so those Stalkers are able to retreat. The Zerglings getting in here, but it's just much too late. The Stalkers are left to die, but the 4th base for Rhett has gone down, and this is really good for WhiteRa, especially because he has a 4th of his own. He's getting a Dark Shrine. He's got the +3 ground weapons on the way. The Zerglings trying to swing around the backside to take care of this army over here. There are Broodlords out in the field, but I think with this number of Blinkstalkers and Zealots, I think blinking is going to be very effective. WhiteRa getting stuck a little bit. The Zealot's going to be left behind to fight against all of those Zerglings. Even with the +2, it's not going to be enough. The Broodlords in the air as well, spawning plenty of those wannabe Zerglings to take that out. And more Colossus coming out for WhiteRa. He's going to need to get those Void Rays out as quickly as possible. There's a Chrono Boost down on that Void Ray. Going to be able to take down these Broodlords. Good for WhiteRa is that the thing that's good for WhiteRa is that these Broodlords are so slow and cumbersome. He can actually do a lot of counterattacking with these Blinkstalkers, take down expansions. Looks like WhiteRa is going to almost take down this expansion over here. The Zealots don't yet have charge, so this Hydra is actually gonna get away once it hits the creep. These Zealots need to turn around and kill this base off, which would be great for WhiteRa. It looks like the first Void Ray out in the field will begin shooting away at those Broodlords, but the Hydra's reinforcing, gonna be able to take it down. WhiteRa is in such a bad position right now. The entire Zerg army is bearing down on his main. A couple of Dark Templars spawning here will allow WhiteRa to take down a couple of Broodlings, but they really need to go after those Hydras as well as the Infestor over here. Looks like they will begin working away over here, and WhiteRa needs to target and fire those Hydras to allow him to get those Void Rays out on the field. Looks like this natural expansion will fall. Another Void Ray trying to take down a couple of those Hydras, and the Dark Templar are going to be continuing to slice away those Hydras. And the Blinkstalkers now moving forward, going to be able to blink upon those Broodlords, taking down a couple right now, but the Zerglings swinging in will get melted away by all of those Colossus. WhiteRa doing his best to try to hold this off. More Hydras coming across the field as well. The natural expansion of WhiteRa has fallen, and more Hydras coming forward. The Colossus destroying everything on the ground, but WhiteRa now blinking forward to take care of things in the air. The Broodlords are extremely vulnerable. The Colossus taking care of everything on the ground. The Stalkers will blink forward to continue to try to focus down everything that's in the air. There's only 3 Broodlords left. Additional Zerglings running in here, but it's just not quite enough. LiquidRet down to 91 food. WhiteRa at 119. This base has fallen. These Zealots and the Speed War Prism able to do the damage. A couple of Zealots in the main cleaning up an infestation pit. Gonna be able to focus that down. Another Hydralisk in here. Gonna get surrounded by those Zealots. And the Zealot's gonna try to continue to chase after all of these units. LiquidRet is only mining off of one base. WhiteRa's got his one base over here as well. Looks like a couple of Zerglings able to deny mining over there, but WhiteRa is in essence is mining off of two bases against the one base of LiquidRet. And he still has his gigantic, well, not really gigantic, but he has his gigantic Stalker Colossus army, and LiquidRet does GG out of this game. WhiteRa tying it up 2-2, and we're going to be headed to game number 5. WhiteRa, after being down 2-0, showing everyone that he's still got it. He's going to be able to take LiquidRet to the 5th game. We'll see if he's able to do this reverse all-kill against LiquidRet to advance to the next round in the ASUS Republic of Gamers StarCraft 2 tournament.